I'm on the Black Channel. Well, there's another one.
That's nigger. I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are a nigger.
You are an idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talking about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You
That's nigger.
Alrighty there. So this one in particular is a wonderful person by the name of Crystal Therese Wilsey. As you can see here, it looks like she's used to being in trouble. The internet's done what they do there in that regard. I've got so many thoughts on this. The original video here is talking about how this couple from Somalia walked into a Cinnabon to buy food, and the employees started making fun of the woman's hijab, so they took out their phone and started recording, and then she called them the N-word and admitted to being a racist. She continued to say derogatory things to them too. Where's Megyn Kelly? I mean, Megyn Kelly, other than to applaud it, but where's Matt Walsh? You know, I mean, where? Does anybody know where they're at? Maybe they're, maybe they're roasting hot dogs at the Ku Klux Klan rally. But by the way, where are they at again?
I am racist.
so idiot, for
And
real.
you are a nigger.
You are an idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruin your life, by the way.
Oh, talking
Bye.
about you talking about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You
That's nigger.
All right, there are just so many lessons here. First of all, the meth must be popping. The meth must be popping. That's the only thing I can think of here. That is my first impression here is just the meth is just jamming, y'all. The fentanyl is flying and the meth is popping. Gotta be. That's the first thing there. Second of all, just a friendly reminder, folks, when was the last time that you came to social media, national news, or anything else, and Somalis were talking about racism? I'm not talking about some politician who drags it out because they're a small fish in a big pond. Just the average, everyday Somali citizen. When was the last time that they cared about, quote, racism? As I said last night, it only comes up when they think they can use it to their advantage. It only becomes an issue when they think that they can use it to their advantage. But in their daily lives, when we come to them talking about white supremacy, they'll be the first ones to tell us ain't no white supremacy. Ain't no racism. They'll be the first ones to tell us that. So please understand, it isn't that they don't know. Everybody knows. I said this last night. I've been saying it for 2 decades. Everyone knows. Everybody. They know in America, they know in Africa. Some folks think they're being slick and, quote, playing the game. And then they come over here with the coon stuff. And then when they realize we're not going to dance with them, oh, don't worry. White daddy will take care of us. And when that fails, ooh, white daddy, you is racist. But as we witnessed last night, you understand that they don't really mean that. If they talk about racism, if they bring up the word racism, that's not what they mean. What they mean is, hey, I am one of your good niggas. So we're just not going to play the game where they jump up and start talking about racism and think they're going to be quote unquote black when convenient. If you were not black last year, this two-step process, folks. If you weren't black last year, and if you weren't stomping against white supremacy last year, you don't get to jump up this year and when a white person starts practicing white supremacy on you, you don't get to jump up and say, now you don't like how you're being treated because now the white supremacists are practicing racism and white supremacy against you. So it's cool when they're practicing it against the foundation that you think you can get an edge and a leg up on. That's good. You practice racism. That's good. You go get them, white daddy. You go get them. And then when he turns around and practices white supremacy against you, all of a sudden it's wrong? No, no, no. If it wasn't wrong last year, and if you weren't stomping against it last year, don't say a word about it now. Don't say a word about it now. In the chat room there, Lee Defined, I'm so glad you said that. As a matter of fact, usually I hold off on these things, but I'm so glad that you said that right there, brother. I'm so glad you said that. So let's go ahead and get you to come up here center stage. Let's go ahead and get you up here center stage so you can explain to all of us exactly what it is that we are missing in the equation here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Zoom link up for you here. Let me go ahead and get the Zoom link up for you here, sir. And we'll give you 2 minutes to go ahead and join us on Zoom. And you can explain to us all what exactly it is that we either don't get or don't understand about the situation. I'm very glad to hear that. So we'll go ahead and give you 2 minutes here, Lee, to go ahead and be on Zoom for us. You can come through. You can come through and explain to everybody about the dimensions of this that we allegedly, apparently, or whatever don't get. So very glad you volunteered that. So we'll be talking to Lee here in the next 2 minutes. And remember, if you cannot defend your point or you refuse to, I don't have to defeat it. You did already. So if you can't defend it, just remember you destroyed your own point for everybody. So nobody runs from a point that's got merit. If it's got merit, they stand on it. If it doesn't, back to the crack house. So we'll be talking to Lee here in just a couple of moments. But for the Somali citizens out there and whatnot, you come to America in droves. You make sure that you're going to try to show the white society that just like back on the continent, see, here's the problem with some of your so-called Pan-African scholars. These folk were practicing the coonery back on the continent. They didn't come over here with it. They were practicing it over there. Now, the critical key difference is that those are black nations. Those are black nations. We don't have a black nation in the United States. As the freedmen, we established black culture. We established black neighborhoods. We have some predominantly black cities. We do not have a black nation where we can get together and form the foundation or the basis of its constitution and its laws. We are not the final arbiters of the laws in America because the Constitution is not written by a black nation. When I go to a black nation in Africa, I should see laws that reflect that, and yet they have gleefully abandoned that, and that's a whole big difference. How are you in a black nation and now you're looking for white supremacy to come dominate? Oh, let me go ahead and pin the Zoom link up here. I put it in the chat room. I didn't pin it. Let me go ahead and pin that right quick. So, Lee, you got 2 minutes to be on the line with us here, so you can go ahead and clarify. But people, how the hell do you have a black nation? and you're looking for white supremacists to come kiss ass and bow down to. How the hell do you have that? Show me the white television shows. Understand something. We created a culture of resistance, and we didn't own any of the TV stations, radio stations, the governmental structure. We've been looking at images deifying white people now for over a century, and yet we became the world standard for resistance against white supremacy. How the hell is it you have an entire black government from bottom to top, black nation from bottom to top, and yet you're looking, you didn't have a white media. You said, ooh, we need to go find one. See, there's the difference. That's a critical key difference to have right there. That's a big difference. So when they show up over here, and as we demonstrated last night, they came over here looking for a white ass to kiss. And so when I see this right here, I'm not going to defend the white supremacist female. I'm not going to defend her, but I'm also not going to put the cape on for the Somalis either. See, you can't come to me today. That's a big problem. You can't just jump up out of nowhere. You can't come to me today. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to sit up here and be on the sidelines and giggling because you think you working with white daddy behind the scenes to undermine me. And then when white mommy humiliates you in front of people and sinks their fangs into you, all of a sudden you're going to start talking about racism. No. You don't get to jump up when racism bites. You defended racism all this time and you jump up and now you want to fight it when it finally bites you. Ain't no racial solidarity if you ain't been solid with us before now.
And deal with it, nigga.
Do not come to me after you've been defending this all these years. You've been sitting back and let them run around all these years talking about, well, they're not racist, they're just ignorant. They're not racist, they're just ignorant. Racists are just ignorant. Well, don't run to me now talking about trying to appeal to racial solidarity. Ain't no racial solidarity with folks who've been defending white supremacy. That's not the way that works, Jack. You don't get to appeal and start begging for racial solidarity if you ain't been fighting the white supremacy the whole time, or worse, you've been defending it. There's no racial solidarity for you to appeal to. Maybe you can find some Somali solidarity. Maybe you can go look for some Somali solidarity. Maybe you can go do that. Because here's the thing right here, y'all. I want you to understand how their mindset works. This will be, Jason, you going all the way in. You damn right. Here's how their mindset works. You see, they want you to jump up for them and defend them when they're in the hot seat. You let this exact same white woman come back to them apologizing, and they'll be the first one sitting up there and hugging her, talking about the love of Jesus and how some folks, they're just a product of how they were raised and they ain't all bads. And you just let her soften up a little bit and they'll both be sitting there hugged up and booed up with her, taking selfie pictures, talking about how we can overcome racism. They will be the same man and woman taking this video. They will be the same ones booed up and hugged up with her if she gives them the slightest softening or inkling. It'll all be like Botham Jean's brother hugging the woman who shot him. It'll be all that. And back to that video when Botham Jean's brother was hugging Amber Geiger. There's a reason why the damn bailiff stepped in, because you see, he thought they were built like us. Because they know with us, y'all know how we get down. That just never would have happened. That scene never could have happened. ain't no descendants of the slaves gonna sit up here and hug Miss Ann. That just wouldn't happen. So the bailiff knew that if that was us, he's like, oh hell, this is about to go left. Oh, this is about to get bad. And he in there by himself, this is about to get bad. But when he saw that go down, it's like, oh, okay, this one of them. But y'all know if that had been us, see, that's what they're used to, one of us being theirs. The man would have been like, oh, I need, get on the radio, I need backup. I need backup. It would have been that. So they bring him over here for a reason, because they can practice open white supremacy and they'll sit there and whatnot and defend it and enable it. And then after they enabled it, then they get bitten by it. Oh, that stings. Okay, well, don't come looking at us. All we got to say is don't come looking to us. If racism and white supremacy was not the preeminent issue yesterday or last year, don't come to us. I'm going to show the video, but I'm going to put it in its proper context. I'll show the video. Oh, I'll go ahead and play the video, but I'm also going to stop and put it in its proper context. So don't think you're going to sit up here and do that. And then, oh, the racists, they are just so bad. Okay, it's not going to be that way. It is not going to be that way. I know it's tough on you there, but remember, you're the ones made those rules. In the chat room there, BWET, whatever that was. Oh, Fee All Day, whatever the hell your name is, 7205. Let me go ahead and get you up on Zoom too here now. So let's go ahead and get BWB Waiter. Okay. Whatever that is, let's go ahead and get them up on Zoom here. Like I say, look, I know what's going on. See, y'all see what's happening here. There's some folks who they thought they were being slick. You're not letting us do what we done for the last 5 decades. And some of the folks right here, they in their feels. Some of them are in, some of the off-code immigrants are in their fields. We messing up their vibe on YouTube tonight. They stumbled across this program and now they're in their fields. They're in their fields. They thought that I was going to play this video and it was going to be, that woman, she wrong for that there. She wrong for that. That's the problem is white supremacy. Oh, the white supremacy is a problem, but it's a problem because all of you have been sitting up here defending it and enabling it. We show up and then you all are the Negroes showing them from the we don't need reparations. I am here to tell you all that we do not need reparations. Y'all remember, old boy? We do not need reparations. No, just an industrial strength toothbrush and a vat of Colgate. What? But in any case, yeah, man. So look, I mean, they're wilding out right now. They're wilding out and upset because they didn't expect that this was going to be the response. They thought it was going to be something else. They figured they yell racism and that we're going to continue to cover them. So many people have been abusing this so long, they think that they're going to scream racism and then we are going to cover them. Because that's what used to happen was you yell racism and as long as you were black, we united and covered you there because that's being on code. The difference is we are now only going to be on code with those who are on code with us. We check in paperwork. You don't get to come amongst the field niggas and sit up here and talk about how you got out the house and now Miss Ann, oh, she ain't talking to you right. Nigga, you been in the house all this time. Get your ass out the field. You don't get to come to us and start saying that. We checking paperwork. We checking paperwork. We checking track records. If your paperwork come back wrong and dirty, that's it. And it's a whole bunch of folk. Either you are suspect or you come from a suspect yard. Either you are suspect or you come from a suspect yard. Now you're over here on our yard yelling about white supremacy and racism. And we're like, wait a minute. Do you come from a yard where y'all fight white supremacy? Because I'm looking at your paperwork. You come from a PC yard. Your yard is PC'd up. Your whole yard is PC'd up. So how you talking about racism now? Because I don't recognize you, but I recognize your yard. The yard you come from, they all PC'd up over there. So how you end up over here with me? Talking about racism. And you come from a coon yard, dude. You got to stand over here with the soldiers. You got to stand over here with us. And we got to recognize you. If you've been standing with us, we recognize you. If you've been on code, we recognize you. You should be able to point to your damn work. When we say paperwork check, you should be able to show the damn paperwork. You should be able to show us where you've been on code. I'm not worried or scared about anybody questioning me. Nigga, I can show you mine. And I ain't even been online like that. I can show you my paperwork over 2 decades. Now, how the hell am I doing this through YouTube over 2 decades and mine is platinum plated and you walk in the damn streets and ain't got a single shred or a hall pass to show us? The only way you got no paperwork to show is if you ain't did no work. Or you got something you don't want folks seeing. But folks, if you done did what you're supposed to do, you can show us you've been on code. There is zero excuse to never show you've been on code unless you just been hiding out. All the folk hiding out, we're not here to shield you. Everybody got to be frontline. Everybody got to be in the trenches. If you been hiding, niggas stay hiding. But when them folk come get you, because hiding's not going to work, you can't hide from white supremacy. When they come to get you, you're on your own. Don't look to us to shield you. You are on your own. Now, I'm about to show y'all just how far on their own they are, but let me jump over here on Zoom right quick. I got somebody named Shannon, so only folk I want calling up right now are the folks that we asked to call up here. I'm checking to see. Okay, what are we doing here? Now, Shannon, I don't hear or see anything, so Shannon, I want you to make sure you got everything going. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to get that taken care of. Otherwise, we're going to move on. Shannon will give you 5 seconds here, so let's get up front. All right, Shannon, we're going to give you 3 more seconds here. He hasn't turned the mic on, camera on, anything. All right, Shannon, 1 more second here, or else we're going to move on. All right, folks, Shannon, we're not going to wait on you here. So whoever Shannon is, not sure what's happening, but Shannon, go ahead and wait to call back some other time or whatever the case may be. So, all right, folks, well, that was going on there, but also this is happening. So, yeah, you know what's going on out there. You know what's going on out there. It's the white supremacists have gotten together and said, okay, let's see if we can make another Shiloh Henddrix. You get the game plan. The white supremacists, they came together for another Shiloh Henddrix. Now, a couple of things I want us to take a look at here. Couple of things we want to take a look at here. So first of all, Give Sing Go is fully a white supremacist platform. Okay. Just as long as you recognize that. Some guy named Tom Hennessy created the campaign, so not sure who it is or whatever. Meet Crystal, hardworking white mom doing her job at Cinnabon. So they put white in capital letters, so they put W in white in caps, so they're letting you know that, this is, double lightning bolts. Also, this right here, Isn't this an odd amount of money to ask for? Isn't this an odd amount of money to ask for here? I'm just saying, by the way, isn't this kind of odd? That's a real odd amount of money to ask for. You figure there's some white supremacist numerology in there? I'm figuring there's some white supremacist numerology in here. So I'll let y'all go ahead and take a look at that for yourselves. But I'm pretty sure there's some white supremacist numerology in here. That number is just way too odd. That number is just way too odd. But in any case, yeah, they're out there doing what they do. They're trying to pass the hat. They're trying to pass the hat. And the comments, of course, are the usual white supremacist fare, of course. The usual white supremacist fare, of course. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be Sydney Sweeney. Matter of fact, I probably got something to say about Sydney Sweeney here as well. But yeah, man, you don't have to be Sydney Sweeney for that. You can just be the local chick working down in Cinnabon. If you're white supremacist, they'll pass the hat. Although I will tell you one thing, I don't think this is going to go as well as they tell themselves. I don't think it's going to go as well as they want to believe, because this was an unexpected expense. Economy is slowing down and she just jumps up at work and wows out. I think a lot of white folk are going to be like, okay, wait a minute. We ran together for Shiloh, but here it's like we're in the middle of the holidays. Economy is slowing down. This is an unexpected expense. And after a little bit, it's like, okay, we already gave to Shiloh. Now here you come with your hand out. And after a little bit, it starts to feel less like racial solidarity and more like a tax. I mean, the white supremacists are going to do what they do with their money, but I'm just telling you all right now, just think about the psychology over there for a moment. I mean, after a little bit, this starts to just feel like a tax. It's like you can't just give money to every white supremacist running around yelling nigger at folks. That's going to get expensive. I mean, they can do it if they want to, but that's going to get expensive. White supremacy is a very expensive religion to maintain. Now they're giving money to just rando meth heads and whatnot out there. So yeah, that's going to get very expensive. But then again, white supremacy has always been expensive. Always been expensive. But there's another point I want to go into here also. And it's that I want to talk about the Cinnabon clanswoman here. I want to talk about her for a moment. The Cinnabon bigot. Now, Cinnabon, I believe, has said that she's been fired. Okay. But I got a few words now about the Cinnabon bigot. And I want to put this in its proper context as far as the events unfolded here. Folks, first of all, baby, you work at Cinnabon. Damn! She works at Cinnabon. No disrespect. No disrespect. None at all. None. I respect anybody who puts in a solid 8 hours a day. I respect anybody. But I'm just like, ma'am, it's hard. You got bigger issues than black people, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that. Ma'am, you work at Cinnabon. Jason, you call the white supremacist female ma'am. I'm trying to have a little mercy at how ridiculous this is. Ma'am, this is not offensive to me. This is freaking ridiculous. It's hard for me to feel offended when this is so damn ridiculous. Weren't you just sitting back there behind me putting icing on the damn donuts? What? Ma'am, you wear an apron. Furthermore, one more thing, y'all. She's working in food preparation. Do you see she's got her hair down? Ma'am, you work in food prep and you're doing the nasty dog thing. Y'all, as the foundation, you know what our grandmamas told us. You can't eat everybody's cooking. This is the damn reason why. Yes, she doesn't have on any gloves. She doesn't have her hair tied up. Folks, I'm going to detour here for just a moment. I'm going to detour here for just a moment. And I don't care what your preferences are, so don't get involved in nothing like that. But I do have some, I got a story to tell in this vein. The last time that I went to a donut spot was, wow, I won't say the last time, probably a few years ago, second to the last time, or second to the third time. I don't know. I don't remember how long. The chronology escapes me at the moment, but I know it was a few years ago. I went to a Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. I was on the road. For some strange reason, I had a hankering for a chocolate-covered donut for some reason. It was early in the morning. It was like 7 in the morning. So the donuts had not been sitting out all day. All right. By the way, I'm coming through Georgia. And, okay, no problem. I'm coming down through Georgia, and I decided I want to stop and get some donuts. I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. All right. Young white male there. He's doing his job. There were like 3 people in front of me. Not an issue. Not an issue at all. No problem. So I'm waiting, and then I see the lady in front of me. She orders hers. Now, people, I watch things, and I could not help but notice that the young man, he turns around behind him because they had the donuts behind him in the glass cabinet. You know, they got the rows, but they got the rows slanted, I guess, so the donuts can slide down as you take one. But he has to get one from the back. She asked for one before. She asked for it. He had to get it from the back. Man, I saw him take the tongs. I saw him reach his arm up in there. And I saw his forearm run over the top of one of the chocolate-covered donuts.
Nigga, what?
When I saw his bare forearm, because he had on short sleeves, I saw his bare forearm graze over the top of one of the chocolate-covered donuts. People, don't you know? I saw that, and I immediately bust a U and walked back out the door. Walked back out the door, cranked up the big V8, hit the interstate, and I said, I ain't never gonna want a donut so bad that I'm gonna stop at a place like this. I will never want a pastry so bad. Because I'm like, if he did this once, he might just, because if the donuts are warm, if you do that once while the icing is warm, the icing can just melt back into place again. So he could have done this a few times, and by the time you show up, the icing looks like it's all even and uniform. And meanwhile, it's like, oh, you tasting forearm sweat. Y'all, I saw that. I froze like the Jamaican bobsled team in Cool Runnings when John Candy walked out in that snowstorm. I froze like that. I bust a U like I'm in the military. About peace. Back out the door I marched. Back out the door I marched. People, no gloves, no hairnet, no service. That's what it's gonna be. No customer. That right there. No. And I'm not big on restaurants to begin with, but if I see you do something suspect, I'm not big on these places to begin with, but if you do something sus, like right in front, oh no. Let me go ahead and turn around. Let me go ahead and leave. Let me do that. Well, this chick right here, I just want to put this in its proper context for you all so that you know I'm not just making this up as I go along. Do you realize, hey, Cinnabon, y'all need to come check because, I mean, and she's not just wearing hair. She's got hair damn near down to her waist. Come on now. She's making the cinnamon rolls or whatever else. Like I think they got the little chocolate covered rolls and stuff. They got like cinnamons and I think they got cinnamon balls or whatever. Okay, cool. Do you realize that? Do you realize that? Take a look at her hands. Take a look at her hair. Come on, man. I'm saying that this is the caliber of person they have working there. And she got the nerve to talk about she's a proud racist.
So idiot for
And
real.
you are a nigger. Racist, that's nigger. I am racist.
So idiot for
And
real.
you are a nigger.
Kid, you are not just racist, you are unsanitary. You are unsanitary as hell. You have way bigger issues than black people. That's the first thing. I know Somalis ain't black. I know Somalis ain't black. Understood. But you got way bigger issues. And here's the point I want to talk about, people. This is how white supremacy pays off the rank and file white person. This is why we don't accept anybody who tells us that they didn't benefit from racism, that they don't benefit from white supremacy. My family didn't own slaves. I didn't benefit from racism. I didn't benefit from slavery. No. Yeah, you do. This chick, person, I went to saying woman, she is demonstrating the universal language of white supremacy and the unspoken benefit. She is expressing white privilege. And she's expressing it because she's got a job, she represents a company, and she's letting you know that she thinks that she's better than you simply because she is white. That's it. That's it. She is telling you that she is better than you. She's superior to you. It doesn't matter if you make more money than her. And folks, I'm just saying, no disrespect to any of my people working in the food service industry, fast food service industry. No disrespect to any of my people. As I say, I respect anybody who puts in a solid 8 hours. If you're going to do the job like you're getting paid $1 million, because excellence is a character trait, not a career. However, I don't think it takes very much to earn more money than somebody who works at Cinnabon. Color me wrong, but folks, I don't think I'm willing to bet money that most of you make more money than this female here. I'm willing to wager that most of the people here listening to me right now, you make more money than she does. So when we talking about socioeconomic status, she's going to have to go to rehab and detox and go to night school, and then she can start getting some socioeconomic status. But what she's letting you know is that, oh, my status is that I'm white. My status is that I'm white. So if you're black, even if you make more money than her, you make more money than her, you have more assets than her, you have more net worth than her, what she is expressing is that her key compensation is not money. She was born with her compensation, whiteness. And so long as she is able to look down on you, presumably, as long as she is white, she has a value that you don't. Never mind the fact that you're making minimum wage. Never mind the fact that you are socioeconomically depressed. Never mind the fact that, by the way, nothing says class like this, by the way.
Your life, by the way.
Oh,
Bye.
you're talking about respect? You're talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
I mean, nothing says class like that. Nothing says class like that, you know, so yeah. But what she's still letting you know is that she feels that her whiteness matters more than her lack of socioeconomic status, her lack of accomplishment, her lack of any other value. That in a system of white supremacy, they will stick to, if they can stick together on whiteness, then it doesn't matter what else you don't get. LBJ said it because they knew it was true. That the rank and file white person in America in a system of white supremacy, they will overlook the fact that, ma'am, you're talking like you're part of the aristocracy. You are not. We see how the aristocracy treats her. So why is she valuing whiteness? Because she thinks that it gives her value over, she gets some symbolic value over you. And that is her compensation. They don't have to pay her more money. She doesn't have to get more money. She doesn't have to make more status. You have to do, you got whiteness. So there's your compensation. Right there. And she's sitting around, ooh, you right. I got my compensation. I'm good. It's absolutely embarrassing. It really, really is. But I show this to you all because this is the confirmation and the proof. This is the confirmation and the proof. It is the confirmation and the proof that there is indoctrination, as we covered last night on last night's program about the Somalis. Now they're upset with Trump. Okay, but we covered that last night that, by the way, yeah, you have to be indoctrinated into this. This isn't something you stumble across. White supremacy is not something that you walked through the wrong door and stumbled into. She has been taught that it doesn't matter what her income, lack of education, lack of couthness. And by the way, for a bunch of the swirlers out there, femininity much?
You talking about respect? You talking about
Femininity much? By the way, yeah, for the high IQ people and the ass kissers, by the way, femininity much? Yeah, femininity much? All right.
respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
All right. So, yeah, she doesn't have to have money. She's got whiteness. She doesn't have to have status. She's got whiteness. She's willing to put it all on the line because as long as she has whiteness, it doesn't matter if she doesn't have money, doesn't matter if she doesn't have a job, doesn't matter if she doesn't have femininity, doesn't matter if she doesn't have couthness, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She's got whiteness, and she's sitting there smiling. She is oblivious to the fact that she is just another dunce cog in the machine. But this is the culture. This is the culture, and they don't need me to tell them. They know this. So just understand that in this system, you're never going to really experience a full-blown revolution from the grassroots or, the base of the white society, because there are a number of them who are unhappy. Don't get me wrong. A number of them who are. But as long as the guys in the media and whatnot can tell them, hey, don't revolt now. You still got whiteness. You're still better than niggas. Every time they get upset and they're ready to revolt, all the establishment has to do is remind them, hey, you have something more valuable than money. I do? Yes, you do. Crystal meth. What? Her name is Crystal. All right. Crystal meth? Crystal, you've got something more valuable than money. I do? Yes, crystal meth, you do. You have something more valuable than money, more valuable than status, more valuable than fame. What is that? You have whiteness. Ooh. I do. And that's it. They've been defused. Well, don't worry, Crystal. See, here's what I'll do, Crystal Crystal. I will make you the assistant manager. Ooh-wee. You see, you'll be in charge over them. Yes, I'll be in charge. Come here, Crystal Meth. Come here for just a moment. Crystal Meth. Now, by the way, folks, I just noticed this. Now, when they went to go beg for money for her, they showed a picture of her, even though she's not wearing a hairnet, they're showing a picture of her with her hair tied up. They didn't show a picture of her in her native habitat. They didn't show that. Why, they showed this picture. This is the picture they went to go beg for money for. Why didn't they just show a picture of her on the day of the incident? So even they understood. Hey, folks, this isn't me saying it. Even they understood that, oh, this is a hella bad look right here. This right here does not say I'm a victim. This appearance right here does not say I am a victim. So they went to go grab this. Okay. Her hair is tied up. She's wearing lipstick. Over here, oh, that's gone. She looked like Greg the Hammer Valentine. Damn! They caught her over here looking like Greg the Hammer Valentine, so they went over here. Oh, we better clean this up some. That is not a good look. No, it is not. But in a system of white supremacy, they can sell them on that. So at your job, at your office, at the church, if they start getting unruly, remind them of their symbolic privilege. And if that's not enough, well, give them some symbolic position and away they go. Away they go. This is the reason right here. You have to understand that when Brother Neely Fuller talked about understanding white supremacy, he meant understanding it from both sides. You need to understand how black people deceive themselves about it, and you have to understand how white people really feel about it. Remember, on last night's program, I covered those folks there at the lumber place who were talking about, Trump and his shenanigans with the tariffs have made them have to close their doors. They've had to shut the business down because of Trump and the tariffs. And when asked if they regret it, they said, nope, they don't regret their vote. They regret what's happened. They don't regret their vote. Hey, dummy, your vote is what put you in this box. They are willing to sacrifice for white supremacy because they get value from it. There are benefits that they receive. They do get benefits from white supremacy. They get benefits in it. The benefits might be modest or meager, but in a system of white supremacy, they get tons of unspoken benefits. These crowdfundings that they do for just a random white person, this is the white supremacist code of conduct. You see, this right here is written in the social laws, not the legal books. It's not in the legal books. This is a social law. White supremacy is deeper than a written law. So when they say there's no racism because there is no law, yes, there is. It is the law of white supremacy. And these people would not do things like this if they didn't think that there was such a law to fall back on. People, do you think that she would have done this if she didn't already know white supremacy gonna have her back? While these folk play dumb about this, here's your proof. She knows there's a system of white supremacy that will back her. And everyone knows it. Everyone in white society knows that this right here is the code, not that garbage they tell you on television and all that nonsense they pretend to believe in. No, look at what they do. This is the code. This is the law. She did this because she knows the laws of white supremacy and she knew they were going to come through for her. This is the law. They receive tangible benefits. And they don't have to talk to you about it because they know they got it. You're sitting up there playing dumb and they don't have to talk to you about it. She knows she's got that benefit. There's nothing to talk to you about. She knows what she got. And if necessary, break glass in case of emergency, she knows it's there. They've always known that. Always. Rachel Dolezal didn't get these kind of benefits. Rachel Dolezal didn't get these kind of benefits. They did not rally around her, because she was off code. But they did rally around this piece of inhumanity. So I want to take this as a moment to remind you all. I want to take a moment to remind you all about both sides of this particular incident. That white supremacy is hard to work, but please understand they see Trump. They see all these events that you look at. They see all of them through a different lens than you do. They are getting something from it that you are not, and they see all these events through a different lens. They see it differently. Their experience in this system is different from yours. So what they do is every once in a while, the only benefit of having the cell phone cameras today is that you can document the proof that what we've always said is correct. Once you know it's correct, you ain't got to worry about it anymore as far as proving it. But this substantiates yet again, when they are alone, when they're by themselves, in other words, when you ain't around, you want to talk about racial solidarity, wink, wink. They all understand what the rules are. They all know the rules and they all understand what the rules are, and that when it comes to you, that the unspoken understanding, wink, wink, they're going to close ranks. If nothing else, she has the benefit of white privilege. And the hierarchy at the top in the white society has told them, yeah, it doesn't matter if we outsource your jobs. It doesn't matter if we close the plant. It doesn't matter what happens to you. You down there in the trenches, you keep them niggas in line. I don't have to pay you money. I don't have to pay you health benefits. I don't have to allow you to own anything. You own your whiteness. Your whiteness is what you own. Your whiteness is what you've earned. Your whiteness is your asset. So don't get upset with me for running your pockets. In the white supremacist oligarchy, you get back down there in the trenches and fight them Negroes. You are being compensated with your whiteness. And here is more concrete proof that you can toss on top of the mountain of evidence we already have that yes, this is the code. You can be the average raggedy alley cat working at Cinnabon. And you are going to invoke your whiteness as your value. Jason, why do you keep saying that over and over again? Folks, let's just keep it 100. Man, if whiteness is all you got, you don't have anything. You are in the damn trick bag. You don't have anything. I mean, sitting around the Ku Klux Klan cookout, that might make you feel good. They got all these folks out there feeling good artificially. They want to talk about black people and symbolic benefits through politicians. This is a symbolic benefit. They're born in poverty. They die in poverty. They're born at the bottom of the food chain. They die at the bottom of the food chain. The real goal is, can you keep them happy and complacent the whole time? Well, keep them quiet. Bring some niggas around and let them flex on the niggas. And then they won't worry about all the other things they're not getting. Which is what LBJ said. They'll never notice you picking their pockets. Yeah, because you got them focused on, well, hey, don't try to be better than another white person. As long as you're better than the niggas, you're good. And yeah, I'm better than him. That's right. Get over there and flex on him. While they are extracting benefits from you. You're not worried about elevating your socioeconomic position because you've fallen for the damn trap that you already have it. And don't get me wrong, you do have it in certain areas. But let's just be honest, in the long run, that doesn't work. In the long run, it won't work. In the long run, that doesn't work out for you. Because you just been sold on a slogan. All that George Zimmerman money, man, all that's run out. There's not a bunch of that going on. Folks are being quiet. They're not saying anything. Yeah, y'all, the money has run out. There's a reason they're not saying anything. They laying low. They're laying low. Don't worry. One day, they're going to resurface because they have to. One day, they're going to resurface. And they're going to be begging for money. Kyle Rittenhouse, you already know, but they'll surface and they'll be begging for money because you have to. You fell for the damn bait. You fell for the bait and you have to. But yes, just understand, and we've all met someone like this. We have all met Crystal Meth here. We've all met her. We've all met somebody that's like, Ma'am, you're driving a 1986 Datsun. Who are you better than? Who are you better than again? You drive a 1986 Datsun and you work at the donut shop. Please, I'm doing you a favor. Discover some humility. You should be too embarrassed to do this. Discover some humility. But in the system of white supremacy, they get symbolic benefits. And they've come to the conclusion that's all they have to get there. So if you want a real life version of it, a real life example of it, there you go. There you go. However, you might disagree. If you all have met somebody like her, if you used to work with somebody like her, you already know. So we're going to go ahead and open up the phone lines here on Zoom. You are welcome to give us a call and weigh in. We are reminding folks that once again, they think they found another Shiloh Henddrix. And by the way, one more thing, this is good.
Nigga, what?
This is good. This is good. Do not be deceived. This is good. It is. Which we're going to discuss when we come back from this commercial, non-commercial break. But before we do, I want to thank everyone, and I do mean everybody who has contributed for tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Griot Scroll. Thank you very much for your support here tonight. We appreciate that. To my man, Mr. Richburg. Thank you very much here. To Keenan. Thank you as well. To Stay Positive. Shout out to you, sister. We appreciate that. Logic Before Emotion is giving out some memberships. Tom Slick, Rodney Scott, Kid Gravity. Kid Gravity. Ain't seen Kid Gravity in a minute there either. Aquanaut, Slabs and Sides, and everybody else here tonight. Thank you very much for your support. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, we'll take your calls here on Zoom. This is the Black Channel.
Be the teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Used to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they staying ablaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the gains. Used to be the teacher.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And we are discussing Crystal Meth, aka Crystal Wilsey. She is the newest Shiloh Henddrix wannabe. Some Somalis walked into a Cinnabon. Who figured you were going to run the white supremacy at the local Cinnabon? They went to the Cinnabon there. There was an incident, and she let them know where they rank in the pecking order.
That's nigger. I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are a nigger.
You are an idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world. Don't be disrespectful.
You ruined your life, by the way.
Oh, talking about
Bye.
you talking about respect? You talking about respect? You are fired from this place, motherfucker. You're not gonna be working here.
Suck it.
Suck what? Look how you
Suck
fucking look
it.
like.
What's wrong with you?
What the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking ugly bitch? Get the fuck out of my
Ugly?
face.
Talking about ugliness?
Did I stutter?
You
That's nigger.
All right, folks. So Crystal Meth here, looking like Cruella DeVille from the trailer park. She is out here. All I'm saying, folks, look, Trump is sitting up here blowing up boats. Trump is blowing up boats. So these folk don't know where they're getting their fentanyl from lately. They don't know where they're getting it from, y'all. I mean, they out here just kind of smoking on anything here. So since Trump started blowing up the boats, started messing up the cartel, getting their packages across the border, man, some of these folks out here just getting lit on anything. They don't know where their fentanyl is coming from. They don't know really who the source is, who the plug is. They don't really know. And so they're going to work, but you're not yourself. It was like those sneaker commercials. If you don't get your meth, you don't feel like yourself. However, this is good. What? This is good. You see, I want it to remain front and center. You can't spin this, people. You see, the white supremacists, the Megyn Kellys and stuff, I ain't worried about what YouTube says or anything like that. I take a look at the whole society. You can't defend Shiloh Henddrix. You don't want Shiloh Henddrix at your job or representing your company. She is walking liability every single day. If you employ Shiloh Henddrix, prove to me that she didn't call every black person at that job or every black customer niggas up and down. Prove she didn't. Prove that she would never do something like that. Shiloh Henddrix, if she goes to work for somebody, you sue her employer, what leg they gonna stand on? Where are they gonna walk in court and say, well, this is Shiloh, she would never do that? While you can sit there and show literal video of her calling a little black child nigger. So, folks, this is good. It is good because I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to feel emboldened. I want the real damn thing to come out. I do not want it hidden under blankets. I don't want it hidden behind outhouses. I don't want it covered in concrete. I want the real damn thing. For those of you who just thought I was saying this all this time because Democrats in the White House, whatever, I'm standing 10 toes down and I mean it now more than I ever did. I want blatant white supremacy in the open so that nobody can lie and say it isn't real. They can't lie and say nobody would do this. They also can't lie and say that, well, that's just crystal meth. Yeah, that's just crystal. That isn't the society at large. That isn't them. Why, that's just one person. She doesn't represent the society. Incidents like this give you the concrete evidence. Oh, yes, she does. You can't explain this away, and you can't put a good spin on this. And this is the kind of thing we need. We need to have absolutely incontrovertible, undeniable evidence that the system of white supremacy is still rolling, which is why we need to have protections. We, the foundation, not the Somalis, the foundation needs to have protections against this. White supremacy is real. White supremacy is on the march. White supremacy is on the rampage. We have all the documentation that this isn't 1850 and antebellum slavery. It continues to this very day. To this very day, it continues. And thus, we need to have protections against it, because I can show you that it exists. So no, I don't want any of them to back off of it. I don't want to back down. If I could make all of them yell nigger running down the street, I would. I want every white supremacist to express who and what they really are. Don't hide it. So Tim Pool, all these privileged white folk, even if you're half Asian, Tim Pool, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, folks, I want them to embolden the rest of the society. The white supremacists are terrible strategists. If you were smart, you'd be telling everybody, pipe that mess down. Hey, you're blowing our cover. You're making it impossible for us to say white supremacy doesn't exist. They're trying to reestablish it and it doesn't work. All they're doing is emboldening everybody else, and that's exactly what we want. We want them to embolden all of them. Make them loud, make them proud, make them bold. Let's go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom right quick. Let's go ahead and get over here on Zoom. Let me see if we can get Blanco up here on Zoom for me here. Where you at, Blanco? Wake up. There you go. All right, what's on your mind, Blanco?
Hey, Jason, what a broadcast. Part 2 from yesterday, but, rhetorically, because, again, white supremacy is a religion. But rhetorically, right after the Civil War, right after, or, during Reconstruction, right during the 20s and, whatever, right? What's the difference if the dollar that I'm receiving in my store comes from a black hand, an Asian hand, a white hand, whatever? A dollar is a dollar, right? But like you're saying, they'd rather have like an anti-black, They'd rather have an anti-black, policy than to actually address the economic situations that they're in. And, so it's just like you're saying, like this is no different than Ferguson in 2015, and further on beyond. This is so crazy how we're still talking about this.
Well, look, that's the whole reason for white supremacy establishing itself. Dominance. The root of white supremacy's religion is dominance. The goal is dominance. Take a look at everything that happens. At the end of everything, what is their goal? Dominance. Soft power, hard power. Power to do what? To dominate. So as that's the end goal. Don't worry about how they may try to reorganize it, restructure it, recharacterize it. Look for dominance. And when you see that, okay, there's the goal there. So at the end of the day, no, you're still talking about it because they haven't got, to them, they've been given some form of social dominance. So even if you're denying the rank and file white person's socioeconomic dominance, you're giving them social dominance over black people. Now, we figured out decades ago that doesn't have value. That really doesn't. Now, it does have value when you can just point to a random black person and accuse them of a crime, and then here comes the system. So in that regard, well, it does have some value if you want to victimize people. However, after that, you don't have anything. So, yeah, I suppose symbolically, but other than that, it doesn't actually have tangible value or monetary value beyond that. It doesn't have anything. But remember, the most important thing in human beings is status. So it's like, hey, I've given you greater social status than the niggers over there. And as long as you got that, good. Now stop bugging me about that pay raise. Stop bugging me about the money. Stop bugging me about what I'm not giving you. Stop bugging me about these wars. Stop bugging me about this national debt. Stop bugging me about Elon Musk opening up a Tesla plant and Sam Altman putting the data center in every backyard. Don't stop bugging me about that. And by the way, one more thing. I'm so glad you called here, Blanco, for me to remind folks. So Elon Musk, to be totally honest, he invested $45 billion. But as far as direct financial investment in Donald Trump, he invested, $250 million. And now he's going to get $1 trillion. He did that so he could have Trump in office, to have an administration that would be agreeable to him when he went for this big move with Tesla, so that they would give him $1 trillion package. $250 million in exchange for $1 trillion. Who wouldn't take that? Now we know what the end game was. Now we know what the real game was. We know what the real goal was now. And it worked. It worked. Never mind the fact that Elon's dream is to fire every white person who works for him. Don't worry about that. You just worry about owning the niggers, and when he posts some white supremacist post on Twitter every once in a while, you just focus on that. Never mind the fact that he's literally Blanco told you that his aspiration is to have robots replacing all the white workers at the plant. Yeah, let me build this plant, but I'm trying to figure out how to get all of you humans out of here. Well, it's mostly white people there. Yeah, I want all of them out. Well, how do you keep them from revolting? Give them some niggers to hate and then let them know you're on the same side. So see, you're not going to get monetary value, but here's your social value. Jeff Bezos, same thing. Never mind what I'm taking from you here. Me and Lauren Sanchez are going to ride off in the sunset and you all can eat fire sticks is what you can do. How do you get people to just sit still until you've closed the door on them? Because they haven't done it yet. You need white society to sit still until you finish this. Until you reach that point of no return where you can't reverse it. How do you get them to sit still until you get there? Hell, this strategy's worked for centuries. Tell them, hey, the niggers are catching up to you. But Elon is literally light years ahead of you. Yeah, but he's white like me. That has no benefit for you. Shut up, nigger. And they will sit still until then. Even Nick the moron Fuentes, he doesn't realize he's a walking contradiction. Dude, you can't get people focused on Israel and Larry Ellison as long as you keep talking about the niggers. You are either going to focus on them or focus on us, but even trying to split it will not work. You either take them down or you try and fail to take us down. But you can't do both. You can't. Tucker Carlson is starting to weaken on that and realize that doesn't really work, although I don't suspect he's going to give it up. But he's realizing that doesn't. Thinking that you're going to rally everybody else around white supremacy is not going to work. That can't be the tool you use. You can't be a populist and a white supremacist at the same time. Because the population for the populist is not all white. And if you're telling us we all need to band together to make sure white people dominate. Okay, well, yeah, that's a hell of a bad slogan. That is a terrible slogan. Go back to your copywriter. That's an awful slogan. And that's why it won't work. So you can do this or you can do that, as the old song says. You can fight us or you can fight them, but you can't fight both. And as long as you're focusing on us, they're winning. We're not the ones who deplatformed Nick Fuentes. What? I mean, need I remind you all, hey folks, by the way, hey stupid tricky Nick, we didn't deplatform you. We didn't debank you. Nick Fuentes was not with a black bank. We didn't have anything to do with that. We didn't own the website. We didn't own the bank. We didn't do that to you. Who you got a real issue with? Because we're not the ones who did it. The folk who have real power over his life, he's not doing anything to them. He's not focusing on them day and night. The folk who have only symbolic significance, there he is. And you know what? The folks who debanked him and everything, that's exactly what they want. Yeah, Nick, we'll take your bank account because we know that that's only going to rally you up against black people more. You're not going to say anything about us. Furthermore, even if you did, who's listening? I'll let you have the last word.
It just goes to show that, again, not to remind it, but, the thing with Jillian Michaels, right? With a reminder of how in World War II, sure, we're going over and fighting the Nazis and, because, taking over, Europe and ostensibly the whole world under, one rule of Nazism. And yet the Americans treated, and the British too, whatever, the Americans treated the German POWs a lot better than they did the Colored Brigade. But I thought we were all Americans fighting the Nazis because we all believe in America and, we're still going to, even in the middle of war fighting fascism, we're still going to be racist and still have a camaraderie with the other German guys. Look, racism is a religion. It's like you're saying. So great broadcast. I want to land my plane and keep it killing.
Thank you very much. Give us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me see if we can get rolling up here on Zoom for me here right quick. Yeah, y'all, like I say, I mean, you don't have to, Lyndon Johnson said it, you don't have to give them money. You don't have to give them food. If you can convince them their whiteness and see if you can eat that. All right, Roland, what's on your mind?
Hey, Roland, but not Roland Martin. How's it going, brother? Very great topic. I definitely like what you were talking about in regards to just these jobs. And I'm going to talk about it from someone who has a master's degree, right? And me applying for jobs and them openly denying me. And then when you start doing the research of the white people who are denying you from these jobs, you have more credentials and you have more education than them. So it shows that it doesn't even matter if you even get a college degree or not, because they're still not going to hire you. This is the reason why I think that we need to just focus on our own businesses, our own infrastructure, and just get them out the way. And we have to invest no matter if it's going to break us as a people, because we know that the banks ain't going to support us. We already know that they're not going to treat us right. And the only way that we can be successful unless we treat each other right. And that's going to have to start at home. So this something that really hit home, because one of the jobs I put in for, I found out this man had a bachelor's degree. I got a whole master's and a certificate, had more credentials, and he was trying to minimize me. He was trying to minimize me and belittle me in the interview. And I just kept wondering, I'm like, why is this man being so overly aggressive? Why was this man being disrespectful? And after I told him this is my credential, he wanted to change it to fit his narrative so he can feel comfortable. So it's a very deep conversation that you're talking about, the system of white supremacy and the effects of it, not just like Dr. Neely Fuller said, it's in all areas of human interaction. That includes the job market too. So salute to you on an example. This really hit home to me personally.
Look, I mean, as long as he feels symbolically he's winning, that's what I'm letting you all know, is that they've sold them on symbolic wins. Like the politicians sold the baby boomers and the civil rights generation on symbolic victories. Hell, they've really sold white society on it. They really sold that. So even if you got better credentials than him, if the best he can do is try to talk down on it, that's a win. That's a win for him.
Mm-hmm. It's even deeper than that. When I start to look at it, when I start seeing the stats, we're getting saddled with the college debt. White men, even if they don't even go to college, they still getting better jobs. They're still getting better handouts. Talking about a DEI hire to the max. Them, and it's crazy. I think there was an article that was up in Ebony, I think, that talked about how because of they got rid of DEI, white men has gotten affected because of when it comes to the military, when it comes to what they call it, special needs and all these other things, they got impacted more. No different from the AAPI community when they got impacted when it came to these colleges, when they were talking about affirmative action and all that other goofy stuff that they were trying. And that now they can't even get into college.
Well, brother, I mean, every time you turn around, black people are a scapegoat. So whether it's, quote, welfare queens, affirmative action, DEI, these are slogans that are fed to the masses to get the white masses to rally around whatever the new white supremacist agenda is. So they're focused on you. And by the way, I just want to remind you all of something here. In your families here, I want you all to go through some of your photo albums of your grandparents. Not your parents, your grandparents specifically. Go through their photo albums. See how that World War I and World War II generation was dressing. You didn't have a bunch of black folk out here looking any old kind of way. They were dressed just like their white counterparts. Your grandmama was dressed just like their white counterparts. That was exactly what was going on. And what I'm saying is that, so from a societal perspective there, they were doing the assimilation thing. That wasn't good enough. So very clearly they don't want, assimilation is not their issue with you. That's not their issue. If they were wise or whatever, why didn't they just leave us alone to do what we were doing? Why didn't you just leave us alone to do what we were doing? Because we were already moving in that direction. The problem isn't that you're failing. The problem is you're succeeding. They keep telling you you're failing. In reality, the problem is you are succeeding. So how do you rally the rest of white society to unite and galvanize against you? Tell them that they're going to lose something. So when you go and interview with this white man, that's the job of another white person supposed to have. Even if there's no white person for it, that's supposed to be something for them. Now, please understand, nothing you have is for you. Now, just remember that. There is no black job, black business, or anything else. You can be the turkey leg hut or whatever. No, there is nothing for you. You don't get to have one. But for them, it's like, oh, you taking something from them. White folks show up and gentrify everything you got, or just redline it and take it through eminent domain or whatever. Oh, well, that you don't have anything. That's okay. You don't have anything. But when you show up, all of a sudden, that's something that belongs to someone else.
You just hit something even more on that, because I put in for a lot of just jobs just to see how far it will go, right? And it's crazy how shout out to Delaware, Biden's backyard on this. So I applied for everything that's within my educational level, whatever obtained, right? That means both in collegiate settings, both in the private setting, they all said no. So this is the reason why I had to create my own business. This is the reason why I just said, know what? Hands up. I'm tired of these individuals, because every time I tried to work and cooperate within society telling me that I'm not good enough, even though I'm better than some of the people that they have. I'm even better than the person that's even hiring me. That's how crazy it really gets.
Here's the crime of it. And I want you all to understand this. Here's the crime of it. You see, the issue is you live in a world that runs on money. Let me connect all the dots for you here. You live in a world that runs on money. The problem is the money only comes from one source. You can't create it on your own. It comes from the government through the Federal Reserve, but it comes from the government. From there, the government decides where it goes to, usually through banks. From the banks, then it's distributed to the masses. It's distributed to the masses through businesses. If you want cash, for example, then that's the hardest thing to get. The hardest thing to get is to walk into a bank and get a significant amount of money. I'm talking about disposable income that is strictly for investing. For you to be able to walk into a bank and, for example, get $1 million on just your name. Listen to me. You want to know about economics? And economics literally means using the Earth's resources. If you are your greatest asset economically, your ability to walk into a bank and be able to borrow an amount of money on just your name alone, a signature loan. Elon Musk can get that. Jeff Bezos can get that. Tom Cruise can get that. And a lot of white folk in your city can get that. Folk you don't know about. So if you want to know where privilege in a system of economics lies, I want you to understand money only comes from one source, the government. So when people weaponize the economy to target a specific group and to freeze you out economically, they're going to starve you and strangle you economically. Every time you show up to access this economic system, you're getting doors closed on you and doors locked on you, and they turn the faucet off on you. You got water coming out the faucet, and then somebody comes and breaks the handle, turns the faucet off and breaks the handle off. Now that is economic warfare. That's racial warfare, because money doesn't come from a million sources. It comes from one. And if you can be prevented from tapping in or accessing any of these derivative sources, well, then now they're economically strangled you. And I want folks to understand that it's not as simple as, well, go get a job or go get money or whatever. you have to have multiples of that. When you got a trickle of economic capital flowing where you are in constant starvation mode. White society, Asian society, Jewish society, Arab society, they don't have a trickle. They got a fire hydrant. They have all the capital they need. Strangling you is American social policy. Because as you just pointed out, you run into it everywhere you go. Well, then that tells you that's not accidental. There's no way that's accidental, and you encounter that everywhere you go. I'll let you have the last word.
I just wanted to chime in on this last part. So I talked about it on my brother Afro's channel. So I was out in Delaware, right, in this little Dover, and I saw they had this little business. These little hijab people, or whatever they are, they from the Middle East or whatever. They had basically, I would consider a black business, or selling black products, such as chickens with like 37 different flavored chickens, all different black recipes. So the thing that upset me the most personally on a cellular level is how many black businesses that they've denied in the Delaware community that was doing the exact same thing down the street, and they didn't have the capital that was needed for them to be successful to keep providing that service in our community. And I just wanted to drop the mic there because it's very frustrating, and we need reparations, like you said, from day one across the boards, because these people are not playing fair. And it doesn't matter. It's not just the white tea people that are not playing fair. It's also the newcomers that they bring overseas that are not playing fair.
When it comes to being on code, they don't bring you over here unless you're on code, and the code is white supremacy. So you got to have that before you can get here. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and jump over here on Zoom again. Let me see Adrian over here on Zoom right quick. Now, Adrian, you may be new around here, so just to make sure we don't have trolling issues, when you call in on Zoom, make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on. YouTube is not going to see you. The only person who'll see you is me. All right, Adrian, why are you looking like Drake with an afro? What? Y'all, he looks just like Drake with an afro. So
they tell me I look like the dude from Coach Carter.
Okay, dude, this is so much of this makes sense now. So much of what you said makes sense now. But go ahead.
Hold on, Jason. So, but the thing is, I'm confused because I'm not. I haven't been watching the show for too long. I fuck with everything you say. You know, I didn't know that. I thought blacks. You know. I thought we was cool with Jews. Only thing I was saying is
I'm here for you to explain it to me.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm confused why people was coming at me like I was trying to argue, or I wasn't trying to. I was just confused because in my mind I thought we was cool with Jews. It's just annoying to me when I see mainly like white supremacists or people who are white supremacist adjacent. They'll come at you like you supposed to be you supposed to just automatically hate Jews because they hate Jews. They're like, oh, well, you on their side. Oh, anything they say against a Jew, if you don't support what they saying, you on their side. And I'm like, bro, I never got the memo that we hate. I don't hate no Jew. I don't got no problem with no Jews. Like I'm like, I don't know if I'm off code or if I missed something.
I mean, well, I'm not
people coming at me like I said something crazy.
Well, slow down. Don't worry, no beige rage. Don't do that. But let me find out a couple of things here first, brother. Which one of your parents is the white one?
My mama white, man. My dad, I ain't got no white daddy. Come on.
Okay, no, I asked which parent. I don't know which one it is. Okay, is mom Jewish?
No, hell no. My mama not Jewish.
Okay, what is she?
My mama white. My mama milk white. She real white, like white people white.
I mean, Italian, Irish.
Nah, Scottish. She likes like milk white. Like she got freckles and shit. She white. Like.
Okay, that's all cool. Because I mean, you got the Michael Jackson nose and everything, so them genes are strong.
Oh man, come on, man. My daddy, I'm the lightest motherfucker in my. That's crazy because I'm the lightest motherfucker in my family. Everybody in my family brown skin. I'm the lightest motherfucker in my family. Oh,
not an issue there. Now, here's my thing about that though, and I'm getting your insights. I'm not trying to give really insights myself because I want you to call in because I want your insights, not mine. About how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, 28 years old. What city you in?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, all right. Are you originally from Vegas? Is your family originally from Vegas? Can't be.
My family's all from the South. So Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana type area, Midwest, South.
Yeah, because Vegas is one of those places, nobody's from Vegas. It's like California. Nobody's from California. Everybody moved from somewhere else to the place.
Was born in Vegas, man.
Yeah, everybody moves to Vegas. Nobody's actually from Vegas. It's just kind of crazy. But, okay, well, that's great. Here's my thing about it, though. Can you explain to me something here? So, and from a 28-year-old, this is good. You're a great demographic to ask this of. Can you tell me where, as black people, and let me ask you, do you identify as black or do you identify as mixed, or how do you identify?
I'm black. My daddy black, you feel me? I'm black. Like, I would have been black, you know what I'm saying, either way, but I see myself as a person.
Well, can you tell me where your Jewish support is?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not even saying that I'm not against or supporting nobody. I support myself and my people. I don't support nothing. That's why I was confused. I was just honestly confused because I was, like I said, it's not even really from y'all. My main part of where I was coming from, like I said, is anytime you even mention a Jewish person or say anything about the situation, if you're not 100%, if you're not going 100 miles an hour at their neck, you somehow on their side.
Right, but brother, here's my thing though. I'm gonna ask the question again because I'm not really getting an answer to it. I understand what you said, so it's not lost on me. So you don't have to respond to anybody comment you read before, whatever. You're talking just to me. I read your comment, and the reason I had you call in was because you said blacks and Jews are allies together. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. I'm asking you again, can you please show us where your Jewish support is?
Okay, I can expand on that. So, just from my knowledge, and I'm not that well read up on Jewish history, but just from the little bit of history that I've heard about it, that they've been strong supporters of the civil rights movement. They're strong supporters of, they're not for the racism. And usually because black people, we don't got no allies out of any other race that I've ever seen speak up for black people. Jewish people have been the number one race to do it. Now, I'm not saying that I've seen them just go out on a limb. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you have white supremacist Jews too, but just from my perspective, the most amount of love from another race that I've ever seen in my life, whether it be Hispanics, Middle Eastern people, whites, even other Africans, have mainly come from Jews. Mm-hmm. And also too, like for example, right, you got Floyd Mayweather, right? Influential, one of the richest black athlete of all time, from my knowledge. He supports Jewish people. Like you ask Floyd, he's like, I'm cool. They ain't did shit to me. That Jewish person ain't spit on me. Well, so that's just kind of where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? Just from my perspective.
You made a lot of points there, and I don't want to get too far down the road because it would give me a lot to have to respond to, and I want to try to keep it concise.
Right.
So let me back up to the first thing you said there, because you said that when you took a look over history, and we're looking at that. Here's my thing, young man. The question that I asked you was for you. I'm talking about in your daily life. Not what you read somewhere with somebody else. I'm talking about what is your life experience showing you in your own life when it comes to Jewish support.
Okay. Well, it's about 50-50. Because, I live in a black neighborhood. I was raised mostly around black people my whole life. So I don't even know that many Jewish people in real life, to be honest. I maybe know two. Right. One of them is an old Jewish dude. He's a piece of shit, to be honest. And one of them is a young dude who I train with. He's a good guy. So
right. And my point to you is, by the way, by your own admission, there's only two Jewish people that you can readily identify. That's fine. We'll just keep those two as a sample. And what I'm saying is, you don't have enough contact to be able to make that assertion in That's your true. Own experience. And remember, the history books are written by the winners. So what you get from there can be misleading in some regards. I'm going to assume that your family has not had this discussion with you. I'm going to just assume that you haven't really talked to them about this.
Not about Jewish, about every other, you know what I mean, about everything else with the, you know, every other race. But I never had the Jewish talk with them, and that's what is the crazy part too. All this shit is new to me. Like I thought I thought they was white. I thought Adam Sandler. I thought that nigga was white. My bad, excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? They was always white too.
That right there has always been the issue. The issue is that Jewish people fall into a category that is called, quote unquote, less than white. So Jews, Greeks, Italians, Latinos, they fall into a category that Anglos label as less than white. They have all been fighting to get their official induction into whiteness. Jewish people have been particularly difficult because not only is there an ethnic factor, there's a religious factor. And that is what has historically been the problem for them. When they came to America, everybody was willing to let everybody else into whiteness carte blanche except the Jews. Nobody was really able to get over that. And what Jewish people did was they saw very smart strategy. Black people's cause, if they could get America to change its laws in regard to us, they would be automatic beneficiaries, which everyone understood. They'd be automatic beneficiaries. So those things that you were referring there earlier, I don't think anybody's ever put that in the context to you that, by the way, they weren't doing that as a charity. They were doing that because it directly benefited them. Okay. The Civil Rights Acts and the social changes that were happening at the time, not just the laws, but all the social changes that benefited us, they were indirect beneficiaries as well.
Right.
I say indirect, but really they were direct beneficiaries, not indirect. They were direct beneficiaries. So you may have been under the assumption that they were just being charitable or whatever. And no, young man, that was literally never the case.
Yeah. And it makes sense because they're not the only people to do it. They're not the only ones to, you know, try to get in where they can fit in with our
right, but this has been particularly confusing where young people are concerned, and let me explain why that is. Because here's where a lot of issue comes from, and it's something that we're still dealing with to this day. A lot of Jewish people in America, they built their economic wealth directly off of us. Now, you're too young to know about any of this, so let me go ahead and explain this to you, and you can add, your folk came from the South. Go and ask your grandmama. If you got a black grandmother around there, they will tell you. They will validate everything I'm about to tell you, so don't believe me, go ask them. In the South, you had a lot of Jewish people in the South. My city, I was born and raised in, Shreveport, Louisiana, is named after one. And that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. You've had a lot of Jewish people out here and they changed their names, Americanized them to make it more palatable. And they opened up furniture stores. Every black person in the major city, the Anglos didn't want to do business with us. The Jews would. Yeah, that's great. But then they would usually do it on some bad terms. There was a lot of economic exploitation that would take place in the furniture business, in the car business, in the music business. The music business is a particularly bad one. MC Search admitted that. What? MC Search admitted that. Now, what he said was that he did right by Nas because he saw how Jews had done black folk in the music business before then, and he didn't want to be one of those kind of Jews. Well, Search, I'm very glad you said that. However, it rings very hollow because you got, with ownership of Nas's masters, you should have given those back to him, or at least given him terms to pay for those and get those back, not putting those up on the open market. So I don't judge people by what they say. I judge them by what they do, not what they say. This is not a blanket indictment against Jewish people. That's not what it is. But it is an acknowledgement that our history has been filled with a lot of say something good, and then there's some underhanded stuff going on behind the scenes. As a black person, I don't have access to the Jewish household. I don't have access to the Jewish synagogue. I don't have the ability to confirm these things. And we don't get a lot of talk about some of the stuff we got questions about. And that's been an ongoing issue. It is not meant to be a blanket indictment, but it would be less than honest to say that, by the way, everyone's been forthcoming, because they haven't. Bernie Sanders, I marched with Dr. King. I'm very glad to hear that, Senator Sanders. But Dr. King's grandchildren, you're telling us that we don't deserve reparations. He marched with Dr. King, got a Civil Rights Act, and all of a sudden, Mr. Jewish Bernie Sanders doesn't think that anything else needs to be done. Now, so he was okay right up until the Civil Rights Act got filed, something that benefits him. His people got reparations. He's telling us we don't need that. Now, isn't that very interesting? I'm putting this in context for you, young man. Yeah, they marched for you. That he wasn't being charitable. There was something he directly wanted. And now that he's got it, he's telling you kiss his ass. And when you go around asking more, our thing now is we're just checking with folks. Hey, how many Jewish people rock with us like that? How many of y'all are rocking that right there? We want to find out who that is, because that's been the experience we've had. And we really got to make some distinctions for those who will make a distinction. Everybody who's rocking with us, with Bernie, with that, well, we acknowledge racism. We acknowledge white supremacy exists, but we don't want to do anything about it. And this is something for you as a young man to learn. Nobody argues with you that racism exists. Now, in my generation, we still have to fight about that. Nobody's arguing with you about that. You say racism exists, they all admit, oh yeah, it exists. They'll sit right there and do that. And as soon as you say, okay, here's what we do about it, they're going to say, no, we don't need to do that. Okay, what do we need to do? We just hope and pray. And everybody's going to agree with you right up until you say, let's do something about it. Then they're going to start fighting you. And that's been our experience. And a number of the less than white people, according to the Anglos, we noticed that a majority of them were backing that play. In Latino society, particularly in Asian society, Middle Eastern society, and Jewish society, we noticed there's been a disproportionate number that's what they were doing and have been doing. That's how you get a Jillian Michaels. She's done doing ab crunches and now talking about how black folk are monstrous. Okay, well, she's Jewish too. And it's like, what did a black person ever do to you to get that response? I'm not even going deep off. I'm not going to lay too much on you here. I'm not going to go deep off in the woods for something like Ed Blum, who's gone to the Supreme Court. He was the one who got affirmative action to the colleges knocked down. And what I'm saying is he's Jewish. He did not go to the Supreme Court for any of the preferential treatment for Jewish people. And there were no Jewish lawyers who lined up with us to stop him. So I want you to understand there's a lot of information that's missing, and I think deliberately so, to get young people like you to make assumptions. And the things you said were the assumptions I was ready for. And I just want you to understand that please check your assumptions. I think you'll find some very disturbing gaps.
Yeah, and that's one thing. You made a good point. I just wanted to add one more thing you said, Jason, because you 100% correct. Like, and to be honest, brother, like, I honestly wouldn't even care that much. But the only reason why I would even say that is because it's like, so right now, right? You know, you on Twitter, X, YouTube, these white supremacists, that's their main talking point. Like, that's all they talk about all damn day. And it's like, these people be so damn lame and so wrong and so like you said, how is this affecting your life? Like, do you know even one person personally that a black person has killed or done something to? 9 times out of 10, it'll be, no, I don't know nobody personally, but
yeah, they don't even know any black people. They don't even personally know any black people. But
they just go on the news.
But that's why we teach you younger fellas here to understand that this is a religion.
Yeah,
you don't have to meet whoever the deity is you might believe in. You don't have to meet him to believe. These are not fact systems. These are belief systems. But it's there for a reason. I need you to understand this. It's there for a reason. What they're expressing to you is they want dominance over you, but they need to have a rationale for getting everybody together to mistreat you, even if the rationale is a lie. Even 100%. If it's totally fiction, as long as it works to galvanize people against you, we'll roll with it.
And that's the thing, Jason. They so damn lame and they so annoying. It's so loud and so annoying and it's so everywhere that it's like whatever they telling me to do, it makes me want to do the opposite. They're like, oh, we're white and these Jewish people are trying to destroy our race, so you should hate them too. And it's like, y'all so damn lame and so annoying that anything y'all say I should do, it makes me not want to do it. Like, oh, I should hate the Jews. No, I'm cool with them. Like, you know what I mean? Just because y'all getting on my damn nerves so damn much, it's like it make you want to do the opposite too. Like you said, I don't even know no damn Jews in real life, but you know what I mean? It's almost pushing you in that direction. Like, I'm finna go the opposite of whatever y'all telling me to do. That's how lame y'all is.
Right,
you know what I mean?
but I want you to understand, and you're learning about this, so let me take this as an opportunity to help assist you in correcting a few things. You don't take your cues from the white supremacists. And I understand there's a lot of confusing information out there. You found the spot to be in. We don't mislead you. There's a reason why presidents and everything else, presidential candidates and everything else are afraid of what we say here. I don't want you to get confused and take your cues from the white supremacists. And it sounds like you spend a lot of time over there. I want you to spend some time disconnecting from that too, because then once they flood the zone, it really just kind of, takes over your mind, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is know what is right, not just what is wrong. And the truth of the matter is, all those groups I mentioned there, everybody's trying to figure out how they can use the situation to play 4D chess and see if they can figure out how to maneuver us as pawns. And that includes you. So don't let any of these other groups get you into a position where you start being maneuvered as a pawn. First and foremost, we need to see our interests. Jewish people have an infrastructure that protects them. They have one, and that's fine. You don't. So the thing is, we don't have to work hard to protect Jewish people. They got protection everywhere. We need to focus on us, the only unprotected people. That's where your origin point needs to be. No matter what they talking about other people, man, you just dump that out your head. The only thing that really you need to focus on is how they feel about you. Because the problem is, yeah, they might not like Jewish people like that. They might say things, brother, don't focus on what they say, focus on what they do. Because this is going to be an odd thing. Let me put this in terms I think you'll understand. Because I'm pretty sure light-skinned dude like you with Drake hair, you done had a few girlfriends. So I can see your DMs right now. Them broads all up in there. And what I'm saying is, have you ever known some boyfriend and girlfriend, they fighting one week and then laying up the next week?
You see it every day.
Okay, there you go. Especially if she mixed. It's going to be nothing but that nonstop. And what I'm telling you is that you're young, but get this through your head now if nobody ever explained this to you. This is how the other groups operate. So yeah, in the system of white supremacy, they'll make some bad comments about Jewish people or Asians or white folk or Jewish or Latinos. They'll do that, but I don't want you to take that the wrong way. I want you to see that like the WWE. See that like the WWE, or better yet, you talk about Mayweather boxing. I don't know if you ever trained to box. Do you think that Floyd Mayweather ever hated anybody he got in that ring with?
No, it's all business.
Okay, so beating the brakes off of him and giving him CTE is business?
It's part of the game.
I'll be damned. This is a rough ass business, ain't it?
it's the toughest sport in the world.
Okay. And that is social politics, young man. So don't get deceived about when they take shots at Jews or Latinos or Asians. Sir, it's boxing. It's business. This is how they resolve the business. Sometimes some folks got to get knocked out. But I don't want you to assume it's way deeper than that. Because when you watch a boxing match, you know full well. That's why I asked you, does he hate? Floyd Mayweather just knocked him out. He must hate him. And first thing you said, no, there's no hate involved. How can you, if you did that to somebody on the streets, you get arrested. So there's no way he must not hate him. Yeah, you understand. No, he doesn't hate him. But there's something that's got to get done. Does that make sense to you now?
No, it makes perfect sense to me, man. Like,
they want power 100%. Over these other groups. They want power over the Jews, power over the Latinos, power over the Asians, and somebody might got to get smacked up. So what those comments you're reading, that's the boxing match. When you walk into the room, all those people who are boxing with each other, they all look in your direction and they all raise their fists at you. They stop fighting each other and then now they're ready to fight you. if you've lived long enough, I'm certain you have noticed that little tendency that everybody will fight each other, but when you show up, all of a sudden it's everybody against you.
Yeah.
They can all agree they don't like you.
Yeah.
Now, ain't that amazing? So that other stuff you watching, don't get distracted by that side noise. If your family never explained this to you, it's been explained to you now. Walk around and look, and you'll start to notice that's what you see.
Hey, I appreciate you explaining that to me, Jason, because like you said, sometimes that all that white supremacy stuff be getting in your head, man. And when that's all you see so much, that's why I've been trying to tap in with these type of channels more. Like you one of my favorite channels. There's probably one or two more channels that I know like you that just keep it real. And like I've been off of X, off of all the shit. I just been trying to tap in with the people who really know what they're talking about, because after a while, what
does your dad say to you about it?
I ain't talked to my dad in a minute, man. But
there you go.
It's been a minute, but maybe I should talk to him about it.
I don't know. It depends. Because a lot of these old dudes, I'm not going to hit him with the yet, y'all. He'll be here long enough. He'll know that one. I'm not going to hit you with that one just yet, because he's literally young enough to be my son. He literally is. But what I am going to tell you is I don't know if you can trust him or not. It sounds like he might not be as solid as he might need to be for you to be like, let me take advice or cues from him. And if you don't feel like you can take advice or cues from him, you kind of figure it out on your own. But a lot of y'all are better off doing that, quite frankly. Because I've seen a lot of y'all's parents out there, and I'm like, yeah, he'll be better off getting online something, because y'all are going to tell him nonsense. And because I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can, brother. I don't mean any disrespect about this at all. I don't know your mom. I never met her. I'm going to assume that she's a wonderful, salt of the earth individual. What I am going to tell you is where your dad is concerned, and I'm not going to speak on y'all's relationship. That's y'all's, so I'm not going to assume I know things. But there is one thing I will warn you about. A lot of black men hang out in non-black circles. They hang out with non-black women, and they come away confused. They come away thinking I'm one of them now because I can, quote unquote, get along with them. And that's not the way it works, because your mom can leave and go swing her honorary white card. Your dad can't do that. They might get confused and think he can. And even if he could, his son can't do that. You have no honorary white card. You can't say, well, I'm mixed. I'm half white and half black. Show me the white society that's going to accept your white card. Hey, he says he's half white. Okay, will they honor your half whiteness? So when you talk to your parents, I want you all to listen with open, not just open ears, but an open mind, and listen about whether or not what they're telling you is reliable. Because they may have had totally different goals from you, and they might have come out confused.
Man.
This all sounds familiar, doesn't
it? Hey, motherfuckers don't be playing in the snow for no reason, man.
And everybody does it until it comes up snake eyes. And I'm like I say, I'm not doing a blanket indictment. I want to make sure if nobody ever had this talk with you, and I might not ever get to speak to you again, but in case I don't, somebody said it to you.
Yeah.
Somebody told you, hey, you need to look for this. And who knows, you might go out and go do the opposite, but even if it blindsides you, you'll be like, damn, Jason was right. He was right about that. And it's not about hating anybody, brother. Once again, have you eaten meat in the last 30 days?
Of course.
Okay, chicken, steak?
All of it.
Okay, do you hate cows?
No, I love them.
Okay, do you hate chickens?
I love them.
Okay, why you eating them if you love them?
They're delicious.
Okay, well, I'm just saying. What'd you say? It's a fact. I don't hate the cow. Okay, this is not about hating folks. This is about being honest. Hey, if you don't eat, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I need the protein.
Okay, this is not about hating anybody. We're just saying this is math. And we notice some weird things that we notice over history. And until we get that straightened out, I want your head to be on swivel, and I want you to be cautious. Do not walk into situations without being cautious. You can't afford to.
Man, affirmative, man. Affirmative, like 100%. Like that's really what I've been doing. Like, especially like I said, since I've been on your channel a lot, it'd be like, damn, man, he really opening my eyes. Cause I thought my eyes was open, because it ain't. I mean, I've been in the field, but I'm just like, damn, man, this is real. This is real shit, Like,
marinate on that for a while. Marinate on it, and then check back in with us. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me explain to some of the folks there. I don't know why some of y'all act stupid. Some of y'all are the modern day bumbling Sambo civil rights generation sitting here. I don't know whose YouTube channel you think you're on, whose program you think you're with. When I meet somebody from Gen Y, I meet somebody from Gen Z, I meet somebody like that, hell yeah, I'm going to stop and talk to them. So I don't know, some of the crack pipe babies here, you think you being entertained. Let me tell you here, with the Rollo stuff, I don't play that. I am going to stop anybody in their 20s. I am going to stop and talk to them. I told you this 2 decades ago. Some of you right there, like I said, you don't like that because you lost all your opportunities. I am going to stop and talk to these folks in their these tweens and in their 20s. You know why? Because they can still be taught something. They're not stuck in their ways. They don't have 2 decades of kissing ass and doing stupid stuff that they're married to. Some of you clowns up here still talking about Pan-Africanism and fighting with folk who are 60 and 80 and 90 years old. This is why I don't let you run my program. You talking to folks, it does no good. You can't recognize somebody who it will help to talk to them. What the hell would I look like taking your advice and following your lead? You never converted anything and can't do it now. You don't know how to identify who is set in their ways and who actually is ready to get ganged up. So I will never listen to you. Get in my chat room again, I might say your names. But by the way, there's a reason you don't get to run this, because your clown ass can't identify those who can actually be talked to. You still sitting there talking to your 70-year-old auntie, getting frustrated and throwing neck bones and drumsticks at each other over Thanksgiving. Why these old niggas, why come they won't listen to me? And you've been talking stupid for 20 years. Every time somebody in their 20s calls me up, I am going to talk to them. You sit up here talking to your damn elderly aunties for 3 decades and they ain't changing. I'm frustrated. What do we do with them? Let your stupid ass sit there and keep talking to them. I'm going to talk to these young people. They can still be led. They are willing to listen. They are not set in their ways. They are not emotionally invested. They're not emotionally invested in failing. They are genuinely lost. They are genuinely looking. They are not invested in foolishness. So I will give them 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour. Man, look here, they ain't, you know damn well, ain't nobody ever gave them the game. Nobody ever sat down and just gave them the game. For these young fellas, let me talk to you, dude. I don't need no money. Just sit down. The stuff I'm going to tell you is going to tickle your ear because it's going to sound familiar. It's like, wow, that kind of explains it. I'm not saying you're going to take everything I'm saying hook, line, and sinker. You don't have to. I just need you to start asking some new questions that you didn't ask before and see if you answer those questions with the same answers you had before, or if you start, it sounds like, wow, the answer sounds like what Jason said. That one makes a little more sense, not the assumptions I made. See, a bunch of y'all are not fit to talk to these young people. That's why they don't listen to your clown ass. There's no reason for them to, and I don't endorse them doing it. You ain't got nothing to teach them. You're lost and stupid your damn self. Them folk need to come listen. We need to stop and talk to them. These young folk are not going to listen to somebody who obviously either doesn't know or doesn't care. And nor should they. Why the hell should they listen to you? You don't know and you don't care. And they are smart to bypass people who obviously either don't know or don't care. I would never endorse them stopping to talk to you to spit on you. We need to be getting them straight. That is the future. That's the next generation. He's 28 today. He gonna be running things in 7 years or running it into the ground. Nobody is talking to them like this. Nobody in their family. There's nobody in their family decoding white supremacy for them. They keep running into it and they know something's wrong, but nobody's decoding it for them so they can understand why that's happening and then what they can do about it. They're looking for allies in places they don't have allies because nobody explained to them, actually, that's not your ally. That's your competitor. Yeah, but these folk over here don't like him either. And nobody has actually sat down and explained to them what it is. You see, it's hard to decode white supremacy if your white woman is sitting there on the couch with you. Damn. It's hard to have an honest conversation with your son about white supremacy and racism if his white mother is sitting there on the couch with him, and I seriously doubt that his white mother is having a Malcolm X style conversation with him to explain white supremacy. I seriously doubt that she is. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I'm confident I doubt it. So when they meet me, no, I don't allow ADHD kids in comments to run into that. Every time somebody in their 20s shows up, I will stop and I will speak to them for as long as I think I need to, because they may never get to hear this again for the rest of their days. They may never hear this. This might be the one chance they talk to this one dude this one time, and it's like, he gave me a new way of thinking about that. I might not agree with everything he says or everything how he says it, but yeah, these couple of things over here, what he said, he got me asking questions. And that's what we're supposed to do. A bunch of y'all are not ready to become elders. You just gonna become olders along with the old niggas that you were walking around with. You're not ready to become elders. You want to know why it is that your grandparents sat with the babies? Because they understood how important and crucial it was to spend time with the children. They are impressionable. Your hard-headed ass mama with 5 kids by 5 different niggas, you can't teach her anything anymore. But the little babies, everything you do, they gonna pick up on that. Now, where's the best place that you're gonna get the most return on the investment of your time? With a 38-year-old who think they know it all? Or with these babies over here who are still asking questions? Your hard-headed ass Pookie son isn't asking questions anymore. He thinks he knows it all. Don't worry about his bank account. Don't worry about his social failure. Don't worry about his financial failure. Don't worry about his educational failure. He think he know it all. You can't say nothing to him. You spend your time with these babies. Spend your time with these children. Spend your time with the folk who are still asking questions. They don't think they know everything. Well, I might get a return on my investment of my time talking to you on account of the fact that you show me you don't think you know it all. Okay, you might be receptive to getting some game. All I have to do is be competent to give it. That's how you become teachers, people. Let me get Huey Freeman up here on Zoom for me right quick. And by the way, he was a very good call. The young man asked the right questions. He's listening. He wants to get gamed up. All right, Huey, what's on your mind?
Not much, brother. Thanks for taking my call. I'm going to ask a quick question. You probably already answered it, but I was already in the Zoom call just waiting. I didn't have any YouTube playing in the background. The question I want to ask you is, with the whole open white supremacy, and I'm seeing mostly these white supremacist females doing the most, especially using racial slurs to people that are our skin complexion. The question I want to ask is, how much do you think this will continue? And also, I want to ask you another question on how much more support they're going to give to these people, because from what I'm looking at this, from my perspective, it's like I see someone that's white, dusty, poor, can say the N-word, and they can make over $100,000 just by saying that, and we're videotaping them.
Well, brother, I mean, look, how long is it going to go on? This has been going on before now. It'll go on after now. So this is not new. It's just now we can document it. The cell phone era, the cell phone camera era, that did not create white supremacy. It didn't create police brutality. It just finally made sure that you can just document it better. So this is not new. It's been going on, and it will continue to go on. And even if it didn't, I hope it will continue to go on. What? I hope it will, because I want it out in the open.
Yeah.
I don't want to be fighting stuff. People will sit up here and play dumb when they got plausible deniability. It's a whole lot easier when I can just play a video. Whole lot easier when I say, okay, I ain't got to say nothing. argue against this. Then they become like Tim Pool, and now they just got to say, well, it's okay to call folks niggers. Oh, now that's what I want. I want Tim Pool and Matt Walsh and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson to say it's okay to call you niggers. I want them to say it, and they've been doing it. I want them to do that part. That right there. Because now I can make the direct connection between what you're doing in society and policy. You cannot tell me that you are not pushing white supremacist laws and you've already expressed white supremacist behaviors. So you made my life a whole lot easier. I don't have to accuse you or prove you're white supremacist. All I got to do is play the video. Shiloh Henddrix, you enabled her, you emboldened her, and then you came as her backup. Dude, from this day forward, all I got to do is just play a video of them. So this makes my life a lot easier. So I hope they keep doing it. I hope they keep. Look, brother, wouldn't it be great if every white supremacist in society wore a t-shirt that said, "Hi, I'm a white supremacist"? This woman literally sat there and literally said, "I am a racist."
That's nigger. I am racist.
So idiot for
And
real.
you are a nigger.
Brother, that doesn't do nothing but make my life easy. I mean, they are literally yelling and telling you, "I am a racist," bruh. There you go. Wouldn't it be nice if they just outed themselves? And they are. Let them keep emboldening them. Trying to replatform Nick Fuentes. All that's done is embolden them. That's why she did that. You talking about why are these women doing that? Because they see Nick Fuentes getting replatformed. Because they see him on Tucker Carlson. Because they saw Charlie Kirk pushing and promoting that. Yeah, that's what's emboldened them. And I'm like, yes, get emboldened. Yes, come on out the closet. Get out the shadows. All white supremacists step to the front. Now they're starting to step to the front. Yes, this is what we want. This is what we've been trying to get. We've been trying to get this forever. Put on your t-shirts, put on your hats, hold up your signs. Hi, I'm a racist, I'm a white supremacist. There we go. About time y'all got to this. About time you wouldn't stop the pretenses. About time you put a damn spotlight on yourselves. It's about damn time. This makes this a whole lot. Brother, they're taking the guesswork out of it. They're taking the guesswork out of it.
100%, bro. I agree. I agree with you. Not only post a video, but also post all them donations that they're getting to prove that they support it and they empower it. That way, there's no deniability. It's like, hey, y'all, it's out there, and yes, y'all do support it. And that's a beautiful thing about that, because now we have screen captures of basically who donated to that, and also all the videos. So they can't put it on one or two people. I can put it on multiples of society that are supporting this and that are encouraging this behavior. So it's not just one person.
Right, but before now, that was a hypothesis and you're making conjecture. You knew it, but you couldn't prove it. The good news now is that we don't just know it, we know it because we can prove it. So this is what the momentum swinging to your side feels like. I need you to understand, stop focusing on being uncomfortable. It doesn't bother me at all. This is what the momentum swinging to my side feels like. It's like if you're trying to catch a criminal, dude. I don't like to see a dude running around shooting folk and raping and burning things down and all this stuff, but I can't convict him for something he didn't do. And can I convict him unless I can prove to you he did it? Okay, so we're going to have to let him do some stuff that we don't want to do it, and we don't want to let him be doing it, but we can't get him till we let him do it. And all they're doing here is running up their rap sheet. Dude, the conviction really takes care of itself after that. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Here, let's see if we can get Ray up here on Zoom. Y'all folks, I don't know who told you all that I'm not seeing this as war. No, let them keep running. Run your mouths. Commit your crimes. All we doing is racking up the evidence, dude. Like the feds do. The feds let you sit there and run around for 5-7 damn years. By the time you get in court, you're like Diddy. It's like, I'll be damned. They got every freak off, every video. You might be able to explain away one crime. You can't explain away 10 of them. I don't know where Ray is here. Ray, I don't see you. I don't hear you. I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and get right here. If you're new to the channel, folks, make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on just so we don't have any trolling issues. YouTube will not see you, just me. All right, Ray, what's on your mind?
Hey, brother Jason, man, what's up? You gave me your email last time. I think I entered the wrong one. What is it exactly? So I get it correct.
Okay, the email address is theblackauthority@yahoo.com.
The Black Authority
Yes.
at yahoo.com.
Theblackauthority@yahoo.com.
Yeah, because I just have to tell you about my police misconduct situation, which involves a white cop. So, yeah.
All right,
Something I've been very.
Thank you for giving us a call tonight, brother. We appreciate that. Yes, theblackauthority@yahoo.com. But definitely, folks, here, we want to take the guesswork out of it. I need y'all to understand there's so many of you that this thing on the internet is entertainment for you. And so you just go from one thing to another. You just want to be entertained. I'm not here to get entertained. I'm not here to get entertained. I'm not doing the same thing you doing. No, I want evidence. I come here to commune with you all and compile data. I don't come here to get entertained. White supremacy is not entertaining to me, nor do I look for it to be. Some of y'all, racism is just entertaining and you're kind of out of touch with the real world. That's not me. I come here for that. I got the short game and the long game. And I'm here for both. And this is what the momentum swinging to your side looks like. It looks like this. So many of you are stuck watching Fox News and YouTube's white supremacist algorithm that you're not sitting up here saying, okay, by the way, the pendulum always swings back the other way. And when the pendulum swings back the other way again, and Tim Pool and the rest of them are having this thrown in their faces all the damn time, just understand folks are going to feel some kind of way. Need I remind you all, just a few years ago, Laura Loomer was literally in tears at Twitter's offices, upset because they suspended her account on Twitter. Remember that? Remember, just a few years ago, Laura Loomer was literally in tears about Twitter. Now she acting like Twitter's the greatest place either. She was literally in tears, crying at Twitter, banging on the doors at Twitter's headquarters. I'm not making this up. Most of you have seen the video, at least some of you should have. Laura Loomer, white supremacist extraordinaire, was at Twitter's headquarters banging on the doors and literally in tears because they had suspended her account. You've seen us do a lot of things here. You have never seen us sitting up here banging on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube's doors about our accounts. And she was literally crying in tears, having a meltdown. Literally, it's on video, y'all. It's on video. Now, all of a sudden, Twitter's great. The pendulum always swings, folks. We want these people here to crash out like they're doing. We want them to act like they've established the Fourth Reich and things are never going to change. They're outrageously short-sighted. You had one election with a mentally and emotionally unstable Donald Trump, and now you think it's the beginning of the 1,000-year Reich. How insane do you have to be? When the pendulum swings back the other way, just understand everybody who is out here talking all bold, they are going to head for the hills and run. They will not stand by any of this. When the pendulum swings the other way and social sentiments change again, they will not stand by it at all. They're going to be doing splaining. They're going to be taking videos down. They will not stand by it. They won't. But you got to let them commit the crime before you can convict them for it. I know you're ready to slap the cuffs on them, but you got to let them commit the crime before you can get them. Once they commit the crime, now you don't just have righteousness on your side. You got the evidence. You got the evidence. So all the wannabe Shiloh Henddrixes, please step to the front. Every one of you, are you ready for your close-up? Well, let's get cameras rolling. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. Thank you to everybody who's contributed to tonight's program. We appreciate that. On PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you very much for your support tonight here. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent Black thought. We do this every weekend, holidays, some days in between. Click that red subscribe button, click that notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. Thank you to all of you for tuning in to tonight's program live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromised.